Dubai, the city of gold, skyscrapers, and impossible ambition. But it wasn't always this way. Half a century ago, it was nothing more than a nameless fishing village in the desert. And behind every towering skyline, every luxury yacht, every glittering fortune stands one family, the Maktoums. They turned sand into an empire, risked everything, and built a city that should have never existed. What you're about to see is the story of power, wealth, and vision. The dynasty that owns Dubai. The year was 1833. Two cousins, Maktoum bin Bouti and Obaid bin Said, leaders of the Al Bufalasa tribe, fled conflict in Abu Dhabi. They left behind bloodshed and a massacre that had torn their families apart. They traveled north across endless sand dunes with only a few hundred followers on camels through the harsh desert. Weeks passed until finally they reached a small creek sheltered by sandbanks opening into the sea. Breathe, a place with potential, a quiet harbor, and freedom. Here, they founded the beginnings of Dubai. In 1820, the British East India Company extended its control over the Gulf. They demanded safe trade routes. Local rulers had no choice but to comply. But for Dubai, this meant protection. Ships could now travel safely. Trade could begin cautiously under watchful eyes. By the late 1800s, Dubai had become a small but reliable port. Pearling was the lifeblood of the city. Fishermen and divers risked their lives daily, plunging into the warm waters of the Gulf, searching for pearls. Thousands relied on this work. Fortunes were made and lost.
Abu Dhabi has no fresh water. People take cans to the distillation plant and buy purified seawater. There's no drainage, so the rulers' beaches are used as a communal lavatory.
We had nothing, no water, no electricity. We are living in a fishing village on basic existence.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Then came 1894. Sheikh Maktoum bin Hasher, the grandson of the city's founder, took power. He saw an opportunity no one else could see. He abolished all trade taxes. Traders arrived from Persia, India, Oman. Merchants found a city free to trade, a safe harbor, and a new kind of wealth. Markets grew in Deira and Bur Dubai, streets filled with commerce, and slowly, Dubai transformed from a creekside village into a regional hub of trade.
Who could have predicted 4 decades ago that this sleepy fishing town would become one of the world's fastest growing cities? Newly discovered photos show a portrait of Dubai in 1962.
The early 1900s brought new challenges. Artificial pearls from Japan flooded markets, natural pearls collapsed in value. The city's economy, built on pearls for centuries, nearly disappeared overnight. Many would have surrendered. Dubai survived. The Maktoums adapted. They focused on trade, on merchants, on opportunity. By 1938, internal struggles emerged. A group of merchants demanded influence, forming a council or majlis to guide the ruler. Conflict erupted, and once again, violence struck. Dubai endured. The Maktoums held control.
Of course.
By the 1940s, the world was changing. Oil had been discovered in neighboring regions. Dubai, still searching, drilled its first attempts, only to find water and sand. But the family never gave up. They planned quietly, patiently, for decades. This is the story of Dubai's first century, a city built on vision, risk, and determination, all under the guidance of one family, the Maktoums. 1958, Sheikh Said bin Maktoum passes away. Dubai, fragile, but full of promise. A new generation rises. Sheikh Rashid bin Zayed Al Maktoum, born 1912, quiet, observant, patient. He walked the streets, he listened to the merchants, he watched the city struggle, he learned, he understood responsibility. 1959, the creek, Dubai's lifeline, was silting up. Large ships could no longer enter. Merchants warned, if the creek closes, the city fails. Sheikh Rashid knew he had to act. He borrowed 400,000 pounds from Kuwait and launched a dredging project, thousands of tons of silt removed. Years of work. When it was done, the creek reopened, trade returned. Dubai survived. 1960s. A new opportunity, gold. India, short on foreign currency, turned to gold. Dubai's merchants seized it. The city became a hub, a gateway, a lifeline for wealth. Hundreds of tons of gold passed through its ports each year. Markets thrived, fortunes grew. The city earned a name, the City of Gold. 1966, offshore, the Fata field showed promise. Drilling began, months passed, and then black oil gushed from the seabed. 1969, Dubai exports its first oil. For the first time, the city had the means to build. Roads, ports, schools, housing, power. Steel rises from sand, a skyline begins to form. Sheikh Rashid understood, oil is temporary. Trade, vision, ambition endure forever. 1980s, the Jebel Ali Free Zone. Foreign companies could own everything, operate freely, pay no taxes. The world noticed. Companies from Japan, Germany, Britain, the United States rushed in. Dubai became a global hub. From a creek to a city of gold. From survival to ambition. From a fishing village to a metropolis the world could not ignore. At the center, the Maktoums. They guided it, shaped it, built it. Turned sand into steel, dreams into skylines, risk into empires. And the story continues. By 1990, Sheikh Rashid bin Zayed Al Maktoum passed away, leaving a city that had grown beyond imagination, but still faced challenges. His eldest son, Sheikh Maktoum bin Rashid Al Maktoum, became the ruler. Calm, measured, cautious. He carried his father's legacy, but the city needed more than caution. His younger brother, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, had a vision not of modest growth, but of transformation, of a city that would be known worldwide for ambition, for luxury, for impossibility made real. In the early 1990s, Dubai still looked small, ordinary to the outside world, the skyline modest, trade steady, but fragile. Oil reserves were limited, the city had no real safety net, and every decision could make or break the future. Sheikh Mohammed observed carefully. He walked the docks, spoke with merchants, studied every shipment, every trade, every opportunity. Slowly, deliberately, he began to act. Jebel Ali Port expanded, deeper, larger, capable of handling ships from around the globe. Dubai Creek became the artery of commerce it was always meant to be. Emirates Airline connected the city to every continent. Step by step, the city rose, quietly at first, then boldly. By the mid-1990s, luxury started to define Dubai. The Burj Al Arab rose from the sea, unmatched in design, a hotel that was more than a building. It was a statement. Dubai would not settle for ordinary, it would be extraordinary. The 2000s brought even greater ambition. Artificial islands, Palm Jumeirah, skyscrapers that pierced the clouds, the Dubai International Financial Center, a city built to compete with the greats. New York, London, Singapore, every project bold, calculated, transformative. Then came 2008. The world trembled. The financial crisis hit. Dubai was not immune. Construction slowed, debts mounted, thousands of workers left, even luxury cars abandoned at the airport. The city teetered. It could have collapsed, but Sheikh Mohammed stayed steady. He acted with vision, with calculation. Abu Dhabi stepped in with a $10 billion lifeline, stabilizing the city, restoring confidence. By 2010, the Burj Khalifa opened, the tallest building on earth, a monument to ambition, to resilience, to a family that refused limits. Dubai survived, Dubai thrived, and behind it, the Maktoums. Patient, strategic, visionary, turning crises into opportunity, building not just a city, but a global empire. This is the story of a dynasty that reshaped the impossible into reality.
Finance Story. The real story.